Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So guys, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications on time. And most importantly, you have to share these lectures about KSJ teaching with maximum people on maximum platforms. Now it is your responsibility, right, if you want to take the benefit of these lectures. Okay, so what we were discussing about is reconciliation between the cost and the financial books, and we were doing the practical part. Question number 1, 2 and 3 we have already done. Now let's move on to question number 4, and I told you that you people have to do question number 4, question number 5, right, because these are similar questions are what we have done in the question number 3 with small variations. And I told you that I'll show you the solution, so nothing to worry about it. Let's start with question number 4 first, and hopefully we'll be wrapping up this chapter in this lecture. We'll complete this chapter. There is nothing much to be done more in this reconciliation chapter. Let's see question number 4. The following figures are available from the financial records of ABC Manufacturing Company Limited for the year ended 31st of March 99. Sales is given 20,000 units, 25 lakhs, material 10 lakh, wages 5 lakh, factory overheads 4 lakh 50,000, office and administration overheads are given 2 lakh 60,000, selling and distribution overheads 1 lakh 80,000, finished goods 1230 units, 1 lakh 50,000, work in progress, material, labor, factory overheads, goodwill written off and interest on capital. In costing records, factory overhead is charged at 100% wages, administration overheads 10% of factory cost, and selling and distribution overheads at the rate of 10 per unit sold. Prepare a statement reconciling the profit as per cost records with the profit as per the financial records. Now, just have a plain reading of this question and tell me that whether you are given the financial profits or the costing profits anywhere directly in the question. Anywhere you are given the financial profits or the costing profits? No, sir. Right? So that means we will have to calculate both the profits. First, we will have to calculate the financial profits. Then we will have to calculate the costing profits. After that, we can reconcile them. Right? So for the financial profits, what you have to prepare? You have to prepare trading P&L account or manufacturing P&L account. And for the costing profits, you have to prepare the cost sheet. Simple. Right? So from this information, we can prepare the financial books, right? From this information plus this information, we can prepare our costing books. Any doubts? I hope many of you must have tried it. So first is the financial books. The sales is given to you. Material, wages, overheads, everything is given to you. Finished goods is given to you. That is the closing stock. Right, WIP, closing stock of WIP is given 70,000, goodwill written off. It is a purely financial expense. Interest on capital, again purely financial. Right. So if you have to prepare this is the manufacturing and profit and loss account. Right. Sales is given. Closing stock, this is of FG 1,50,000 by closing stock of WIP 70,000. Materials is given, wages given, factory overheads given, office, selling overheads, goodwill written off, interest on capital. So everything is given, sir. Right? Everything is given to you. So what you get is net profit. This is as per financial books. This is as per financial books. 1,10,000. Any doubts in this point? This is a very simple part, preparing the manufacturing and profit and loss account to calculate the financial profit. Right? Now, coming to the costing profit, how you can calculate the costing profit? Just with the help of a cost sheet. For the cost sheet, see what information is given to you for cost sheet. For cost sheet, they have given you the information about the factory overheads, about the administration overheads, and about the selling and distribution overheads. Sir, what about material, labor and everything? Sir, if the question is silent, if nothing is given, then that means material and wages expenditure is the same. Right? It is the same as in the financial books. Right, sir? Let's go with it. Direct material consumed 10 lakh, direct wages 5 lakh. So prime cost you will get 15 lakh. Now, factory overheads. Do not take the factory overheads same as in the question. Factory overheads 4,50,000. But the question says that in the costing records, factory overhead is charged at 100% wages. This charged means what? This charge means absorbed. Right? In the financial books, what we take is the actual expenditure. That is the actual amount incurred. Whereas in the costing books, what we take is the absorbed part. What is the figure absorbed? Right? That is 100% of wages. So wages here is 5 lakh. So factory overheads will be 5 lakh. So I get the gross factory cost. Now I do not have the opening stock of WIP, but I have the closing stock of WIP, right? 70,000. Net factory cost is 19 lakh 30,000. Office and administration overheads, another information given, that is 10% of factory cost. See, one thing you need to be very careful in the examination, there is a difference between factory overhead and factory cost, right? So factory cost is the sum total of prime cost and the factory overheads. Clear? So you need to read it very clearly that whether the percentages of factory overheads or it is of factory cost, 99.999% it will be of the factory cost, not factory overheads. Clear? Factory cost is prime cost plus factory overheads. Clear? So office and administration overheads, this is 10% of 19 lakh 30,000. 19 lakh 30,000. That is 1,93,000. So cost of production less closing stock of finished goods. Now this is one important point here. See, in question number 3, it was clearly given that closing stock is as in the financial books, right? But in case of question number 4, there is no such information given that closing stock is same as in the financial books, and this is one point where maximum students will commit the mistake, because what they will do is they will take the closing stock of finished goods as 1,50,000, which is absolutely wrong. Until and unless the question specifically states that closing stock in the costing records is same as in the financial records, you cannot take it as same. Then sir, how to calculate it? See, I've told you in the calculation of cost sheet also, sir, this cost has been incurred on the number of units produced. Now the point is, how many units have been produced? See the question carefully again. How many units have been produced? Sir, 20,000 units have been sold. 1,230 units are in stock. That means you produced how many units? 20,000 you have sold, you must have produced it, plus 1,230 units, those are lying in the stock, you must have produced it. So the total units production is 21,230 units, right? This is the units produced. Now this cost of 21,23,000, it has been incurred on 21,230 units. That is why I have divided it by 21,230. So what is the cost of 1,230 units that are lying in the stock? That is 1,23,000. Clear? So this is the important point, closing stock of finished good. This is to be done carefully, right? Clear? So the cost of goods sold 20 lakh, selling and distribution expenses 2 lakh, right? Because it is rupees 10. It is rupees 10 on units sold. Now even if the question doesn't specify this word units sold, even then you will take rupees 10 on the units sold only. Clear? Now this is very important. These small points are very important to remember. Do write down these small points while doing the question, while doing the solution, right? That this selling and distribution overheads always to be taken on the unit sold, even if the question is silent as to that thing. Right, so selling and distribution expenses, cost of sales, so profit and the sales. Any doubt? Sales is there, so profit is your basically the balancing figure. This is your balancing figure. Now the profit as per costing books is 3 lakh rupees and costing as per the financial books is 1,10,000 rupees. So what you have to do is you have to reconcile them. So try to find out the differences. Sir, is there any change? Is there any change in the sales? No, sir. Is there any change in the closing stock of finished goods? Yes, sir. Any change in the closing stock of WIP? No, sir. Material wages? No, sir. Factory overheads? Yes, sir. Office administration? Yes, sir. Selling and distribution? Yes, sir. Goodwill written off and interest on capital? Sir, these are purely financial expenses which are not taken in the costing books. That means these two things will create difference in profit. So all in all, there are how many? 6 items that are creating difference between this financial and the costing books. So that means after this you will have to prepare the reconciliation statement, right? This you can prepare now. 6 items, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Simple. Clear? This is your reconciliation statement. Any doubts? Clear? So this is the best way. First identify where the differences are. Sales, no difference. Closing stock of FG, yes, there is a difference. Closing stock of WIP, 70,000, no difference. Material wages, no change. Factory overheads, yes. Office administration, yes. Selling, yes. Goodwill written off, yes. Interest on capital, yes. See, remember one thing, in case of overheads, generally there will be a difference. 100% there will be a difference. So that is one point you always have to find out. Try to find out two, three things. One is the overheads, under absorbed and over absorbed, right? Then purely financial incomes and purely financial expenses, right? These are the major areas of, I can say, the difference between the financial and the costing records. Right, sir? So I hope all of you have written this solution. You can write it down, right? This is manufacturing and profit and loss account. This is your cost sheet to calculate the profit as per costing records, and then this is your reconciliation statement. Clear? So with this we are done with question number 4. Let's move on to question number 5 now. The profit and loss account of Oil India Private Limited for the year ended 31st of March 1997 is as follows. Material income 4,80,000, wages 3,60,000, direct expenses 2,40,000, by sales 9,60,000, by closing stock 1,80,000, right? Then there is a closing, this is basically the WIP. This is WIP, material, wages and direct expenses 60,000. This is work in progress, right? So on the work in progress, this much of material, this much of wages and this much of direct expenses. So total is 12 lakh. Administration expenses given and gross profit and net profit. As per the records, the direct expenses have been estimated at a cost of 30 per kg and the administrative expenses at the rate of 15 per kg. The profits as per the costing records are 1,10,400. During the year, 6,000 kgs were manufactured and 4,800 kgs were sold. Prepare a statement of costing, profit and loss account and reconcile the profit with the financial record. See, the financial profit is given to you, right? The costing profit is also given to you. But the question specifically says that you have to prepare a statement of costing, profit and loss account. That means you will first have to prepare the cost sheet, right? Then you can reconcile the profit with the financial books. Clear? That means you will have to first prepare this. You will have to prepare the costing, profit and loss account. Costing, profit and loss account means you are required to prepare cost sheet. Clear? But sir, in this case, the net profit as per financial books is also given, net profit as per costing books is also given, then why are we required to prepare the costing, profit and loss account, right? Because there will be a difference in a few things, as in direct expenses is one point in this question. Here the direct expenses are given as 2,40,000, whereas in the costing records you are taking these direct expenses at the rate of 30 per kg and administrative at the rate of 15 per kg. Now this 30 per kg and 15 per kg will be on the number of units produced or the sold. Just try to recollect this direct expenses and the administrative expenses will be on the number of units produced, that is 6,000 kg, or on the number of units sold, that is 4,800 kg. What will be there? Sir, obviously all these expenses will be incurred on the number of units produced. Only selling and distribution expenses are on the number of units sold. Clear? Now, let's see. No information regarding material labor. That means we have to take it completely material labor as such. Let's see solution number 5. Cost sheet. This is your solution number 5. Direct material consumed 4,80,000, that is given to you. Direct wages 3,60,000, that is given to you. Right now, direct expenses will be rupees 30 multiplied by the number of units produced, that is 6,000. Right? So we are not taking the WIP part. We say whatever units we have completely produced, that is 6,000 units. 6,000 units are completely produced, right? On that 30 rupees direct expenses incurred. So prime cost, factory overheads, no factory overheads, great sir. Yes, no factory overheads in this question. Wow, great. So gross factory cost will remain the same, less closing stock of WIP. Sir, WIP is given to you. Yes sir, WIP is given as 60,000. Sir, why have you subtracted 48,000 sir? Sir, you have taken it wrong. It should be 60,000 sir, then why are you taking it as 48,000? Tell me. Why are you taking it as 48,000? Now, listen to it very carefully. Sir, WIP is given regarding the material, wages and the direct expenses, right? This material cost of 4,80,000, this is the total cost. This is the total cost incurred on units manufactured and WIP. Sir, whatever units are there in the WIP, on that also the material cost has been incurred to the extent of 4,80,000, out of which 30,000 is still in WIP, right? So that means if we have to take, we are preparing the cost sheet for the number of units produced, right? So what are we going to do? 4,80,000 minus this WIP of 30,000. So I will take this 30,000. Clear? Similarly, for the wages 3,60,000. 3,60,000 is again on the number of units produced and in the WIP. So 18,000 also in WIP. So what is my wages? What is my wages cost for the number of units produced? 3,60,000 minus 18,000, that is in WIP. That is why we are taking WIP on this credit side. Na? The net effect, if you see the net effect, this net effect, this means 30,000 has not yet been manufactured. 30,000 of the worth material which have been incurred, that stock is still in WIP. So what is my cost that is incurred on the number of units produced, right? Because I am going to prepare the cost sheet for the units that are completed. Right now, that is why I reduce my WIP, closing WIP stock I reduce, because I want to find out the number of units produced. I want to find out the cost for the units which are completed. Now this 4,80,000 cost is for the total units, that is units produced as well as the WIP. That is why they have reduced 30,000. They have written 4,80,000, that is the total cost, and they have written 30,000 on the credit side, that is the WIP. So I will reduce 30,000, I will reduce 18,000. Now coming to direct expenses, sir, here it is given 2,40,000, whereas in the costing records I am already taking the direct expenses cost on the number of units produced. I am not taking the total direct expenses. What I am taking the direct expenses on the number of units produced, that is 1,80,000. So if I am already taking it on the number of units produced, then why will I reduce this figure? I have not included this WIP cost in this 1,80,000. This is purely on the number of units produced, and that is what I need. Right? So that is why here instead of 60,000 I have reduced 12,000 and I have taken the closing WIP only 48,000. Now this 48,000 is related to material and labor, not related to direct expenses, because direct expenses we are already taking on the number of units being produced. right? It is not a total direct expense. Now this is the most important point in this question. Direct expenses, right? After that, office and administration overheads 15 into 6000 kg. That is simple, sir. Cost of production. Now closing stock of finished goods. Sir, there is 1200 units in the closing stock. This 10,62,000 is the cost of manufacturing 6000 units. So what is the cost of this 1200 units? You can easily calculate. So cost of goods sold, no selling distribution, same cost of sale. The profit is given to you in this question. Profit is given to you. So sales is 9,60,000. Any doubts? I hope you are able to understand. Now this direct expense part is the only part. If you are not able to understand, listen to it again and again carefully. Clear? That why we are subtracting the WIP of only material and labor and not direct expenses. Just remember one thing, we are preparing the cost sheet to find out the cost of the number of units which have been completed, right? Which have been produced. That is why we reduce this closing WIP. Right now this cost, I am again repeating, now this material and labor cost is the total cost incurred on the number of units produced and the number of units which are in WIP. So we will reduce this WIP cost to find out the cost which has been incurred on the number of units produced. Similarly for the wages, for the direct expenses, we are already taking the cost on the number of units produced only. Right, we are not taking the WIP cost. There is an alternative way of doing it. I'll tell you what is the alternative way of doing it. Sir, 1,80,000 is on the number of units produced. What you do is take 1,92,000 here. That is add the WIP cost and subtract 60,000 here. Now this is an alternative presentation that you can do. That is absolutely correct. You can add the WIP cost here, 1,80,000 plus this 12,000 WIP cost, right? Add this cost, then subtract the full WIP, that is 60,000. This is another way of doing this question, right? The answer will not change. Everything is going to remain the same. This is why the question asks you to prepare the cost sheet, right? Then you have the reconciliation statement. Sir, where is the difference between these two profits? So one is regarding the direct expenses. Direct expenses in the cost sheet we have taken 1,80,000, whereas in the books, in the financial books, it is 2,40,000, right? So there is an under absorption, right, of the to the tune of 60,000. So we have taken that direct expenses under recovered 60,000. Administration overheads, there will be a difference. Closing stock, there is a difference, and WIP on direct expenses overvalued, right? That means here there was no need of that, but in the financial books there was a WIP of 12,000 rupees. So the financial books have been showing the more profit, right? So I have added this. Any doubts? Reconciliation part is easy, I guess, now, right? Or wherever you find it difficulty, I have already told you the way that how to find out that, how to come out of the mess that, sir, whether the item should be added or whether it should be subtracted. That is very simple to identify now, isn't it? Right, sir. So with this, we complete question number 5 also. Coming to the last question, that is question number 6. Very easy question. From the following profit and loss account, draw a memorandum reconciliation account showing the profit as per the cost accounts. So this is the profit and loss account that is given to you. GP is given, dividend and interest on deposit is given, office salaries is given, office expenses given, salesman salary, sale expenses, distribution expenses, loss on sale of machinery, fines 200, discount on debentures, net profit, income tax is given, reserve is given, dividend is given, and the balance carried down is given. That is the net profit, right? The cost accountant of the company has ascertained a profit of 19,636 as per the book. So you have to prepare the memorandum reconciliation account. He's not asking for the reconciliation statement. He's saying prepare memorandum reconciliation account. Right, sir? Read the question carefully once, that what is given to you. Now, the profit as per the financial books is given. Profit as per the costing books is given. What you have to identify is, sir, dividend and interest on deposit. Do we take these two items while calculating this costing profit? Just tell me. So do we take this dividend income and the interest on the deposit while calculating the profits? No, sir. These are my purely financial incomes. These are my purely financial incomes. Any doubts in this point? Clear? Now, office salaries, office expenses, salesman salary, sales expenses and distribution expenses. Sir, all these are what? These are related to admin and selling expenses, right? Sir, do we take these while calculating the costing records? Yes, sir. That means we have given the effect of all these expenses while calculating this 19,636, and there is no change as per question. What is given in the financial, that must have been taken in the costing books also, right? So what are the items that are going to create the difference? This item and this item first. Then the loss on sale of machinery, this is a purely financial expense, it will create a difference. Then the fines, again a purely financial. Discount on debentures, again purely financial. Income tax, again purely financial. Reserve, again purely financial. Dividend, again purely financial. So that means, now how you are going to prepare the reconciliation part? Memorandum reconciliation account. Sir, we are going to take the profits as per the costing records, that is 19,636, right? And we are going to do the adjustment for all the highlighted items, because these are the items which are creating the difference between the costing and the financial profits. Otherwise these are the same, right? This office administration and selling expenses, we have already given the treatment in the costing books while calculating this 19,636. So there is no need to treat this admin and selling part, right? So how to prepare the memorandum? Costing profit is 19,636. I will add the dividend income and the interest on deposits, right? Whatever is to be added, I will take it on this side, and what is to be subtracted, I will take it on this side. Dividends, reserves, income tax, discount, fines and loss on sale. Any other treatment left? No, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 6, total 8 items. Total 8 items. You can see 1, 2 and 6 on this side. Total 8, sir. So the financial profit 4,936. Simple. This is one of the simplest questions. Memorandum reconciliation. This is not revaluation. I have written it wrong here. This is memorandum reconciliation account. Right? Correct it. So this is all about the chapter of reconciliation. I hope you must have understood each and everything clearly. If you have, do hit the like button, subscribe the channel and share with maximum people. That is the most important thing, that if you will share with the maximum people, only then they will be able to take the benefit of these lectures, right? And all those who are interested in the handbooks, which are going to be really helpful for you people, you can go for the handbooks, buy the handbooks from our website, that is www.kscteaching.org, and the soft copy of the same is available on our Android mobile app. So with this, we end this chapter of reconciliation, and in the next lecture, what we are going to start with is the new chapter. The new chapter is very, very easy: unit and batch costing. Unit and batch costing. Very easy chapter. Very easy. Now the next 2 chapters are going to be very small, very easy chapters. After that, after the next 2 chapters are going to be really, really great chapters, sir. One after the other. Very important chapters. That means next is unit and batch costing. After that, we are going to complete job costing, right? With that, 10 chapters will be completed. The next 7 chapters after the 10th one are really good chapters, really important, really good chapters, right? We're going to spend some really good time on that and with concentration. So get yourself geared up with this, right? And very importantly, sir, with the reconciliation, we are done with the module 1 of ICAI. Right, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We are done with the module 1 of that. Right, we are starting with the module 2 from the next lecture. So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.